I decided to do this vlog a little bit differently. This one, I'm going to do a voiceover as I just go through my day. I decided to read something that I wrote as I start this new journey in my life. In 2024, this year marks the beginning of a new life for me, a life that I can mold in a way that feels right to me. I promised myself after 39 years of deep emotional pain, my 40s would be different. In my 40s, I would live as my authentic self, the person I love so deeply. But I've always stayed silent. Why remain in emotional pain if I really do have the power to choose a life of complete bliss? I knew that I was heading toward healing when I started therapy in early 2021, and it has helped me to take a step back and look at my life as a whole. After many hours discussing my emotions and reading my lifelong journals that I held on to all of these years with my therapist, I found complete validation and peace with the diagnosis of complex post-traumatic stress disorder due to reoccurring severe emotional abuse and other forms as well. It was explained to me that my 39 years of pain, disassociation, tears, anxiety, panic, depression, and shame was not caused by my behavior, but something deeper. My behavior is a symptom of the abuse I had no choice but to endure growing up. The way I maintained was through chronic people-pleasing, codependency, compliance, and silence. Anytime I broke the pattern of maintaining the chaos, it led to even further consequence, deepening the instilled methods and deepening my emotional, mental, and psychological suffering. My mother used to tell me, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Those words are absolutely true. So I no longer choose to allow anyone who has severely abused me to cause me to choose to remain inferior in all areas of my life to maintain a false sense of peace. I'd rather die in true peace because I walked away than living a life of pain because I didn't. It's interesting how I was always punished for lying, even though everything I was saying was absolutely true, but no one would ever listen. I'd be punished for telling the truth that someone else would label as a lie, and then maintain peace by lying in the form of silence. I wonder if having to keep silent about one's truth is the worst form of anxiety and sadness. I've received an overwhelming response from others who understand what this feels like personally or know someone who has. The most validating part of this is family friends that have known, those in my life, have always known of what was going on, but just not in detail. They shared that is why they had to respectfully fade from our lives and keep distance as they did not know how to help. Also, they did not want to get caught up in something that could greatly negatively impact their own lives, which I understand. There is no better feeling than knowing that everyone always knew, and my story does not need convincing. I am supported. Most of all, it is so healing to my inner child to know that I was a good kid. I always told the truth. I am resilient. I am seen, and I am heard. The next chapter of my life is going to look different as I walk away from what is not mine to hold any longer, and it is not mine to carry any longer. I am about to learn so much about myself, and I am so excited. I have already started sharing my story on a few different platforms in detail, and will also be sharing pages from my journals that are too difficult to write out or speak aloud. To protect anyone I know who is not ready to know the truth, which is understandable, as everything happens in its own timing. I will be sharing on another channel and handles that are separate from the ones connected to those I wish to protect. So in the comments, I will be sharing the Instagram handle and the blog website that will also direct further to the platforms that I am also available on. Thank you, God, for keeping me alive long enough to see who I could be when I'm in charge of my own life and what I accept and tolerate. As I've heard before, hurt people hurt people, broken people break people, and healed people heal people. I am making that decision and choosing it very wisely after much contemplation. This is me. Welcome to my life.